Alright, this is my most collectible Tweed amp, and it's mad at me right now. If you don't play these things every few months at least, they start to act up a little bit. And it was making some noise. When I would shake it, I would just rock it back and forth while I was playing, and it was making a funky noise. So we're going to try to figure out what that is. I tapped on the power tubes a little bit and I got the sound, so I'm thinking it may be a loose socket. I really should replace those, but I'll leave it the same. Let's see, hold on a second, I got a good it looks like it has the original capacitors in it, but I just took the tubes off the old ones and just kind of slapped them on top of the other ones, and they kind of float around here. See? It's just for looks, but makes it look more original. Let's see what else. I'm going to check the bias on these tubes. It sounded really good, but I think there was a time there where I probably was only playing with one power tube. So we'll make sure this thing's working. But cool thing about this one is it's the only one I have that has the sticker of who put this together. I don't know if you can see that. That's Lupe's signature. She's a famous amp builder at Fender back in the 50s. Still got the California sticker on there, approved. These amps only have 3 speakers, 3 P10Rs, and I forgot what it's not a GZ34, it's a, what is it? It's a 5U4 GA rectifier. That's that bigger one. And this one's so original, and this always makes me a little nervous, and I'll probably get scolded by somebody. But that is most of the original asbestos that they put on these amps in the 50s. Thing. If I die of, what is it, mesothelioma or whatever it is, I'll know that was not a good thing to hang out with. And okay, we're going to start doing some checks here, and I'm also going to show you how I use this voltage regulator and how it affects the voltages in here as far as heater voltages and plate voltages. It affects all the voltages. Alright, I'll be back. Alright, I've got the bias probes hooked up. They're hooked up to my meter. See, has a switch. I like this one because I can go back and forth real quick. And this amp, and I will never change it, I don't care what they say, still has the old funky original plug on it. And it's actually had this masking tape on there for a long time, and I've never, I mean electrical tape, I never took it off to see what's under there. It's probably cut or maybe spliced, but either way it's still the original cord, but something happened to it a long time ago. So I'm going to plug it in over here to my amp preserver. Hopefully I get it in the right direction. Now I've got this thing running on at 116 volts, maybe 115, 116. I should probably check the voltage with my other meter. let those babies warm up and we'll see what's going on with the bias, see if the tubes are still decent and within a good range. Alright, so it looks like the tubes are still running pretty close there. Let's see, the right one's 37.4 millivolts and the left one is 3940. Now what you can do to make sure that they run a little closer, you can actually switch sockets, and if they're farther apart then switch them back, but sometimes you can get them closer. They don't always run the same in each side, so it's good to flip them just to double check. I'll do that right now. Alright, I've switched the tubes. The right one's at 41, left one's at 37 somewhere. So I still need to check my plate voltage. This one does not have a bias pot, and I will not put a bias pot in this one either. I'm trying to keep this one as original as possible, but I think I'll switch them back. I think they were running a little better the other way. So next we'll check the plate voltage. Alright, let's see what this plate voltage is. Hey, look at that. 412. 412, boy. It's running just about right on. So that's good. We'll check the heater voltage here now. Okay, the heater voltage is in AC. Most everything else is DC, but you want to check this, switch your meter to AC, and it's running, that's the green wires at 6.45, it's supposed to be 6.3. So I'll show you what happens when I flip the voltage regulator here. I go to line, it's going to bump that up to 6.85 heater voltage, 6.45 minus 6 volts. I can get it down to 6 volts. You don't want it too low because then the tube won't run correctly. So the middle there at 6.45 is just as close as I'm going to get. But that's what's nice about these voltage regulators, and I know a couple of people have bought them lately, and I found out that Carl Hartman is still making them. And the first one he made was for that. I was kind of impressed that the first one he made, G.E. Smith, remember the guitar player on Saturday Night Live years and years ago? That's the first one he made. Carl made that for G.E. So, you know, they're still around, and I love it. I've had it forever. The thing I like about mine is you can run multiple amps on it. It has a 4 amp fuse, I think, so you can run a bunch of amps. At least 3 or 4. But let's see, what else do I need to do? I'm just going to retension those sockets, and I think the preamp tubes are fine. It's just the power tube sockets that need retensioning. Spray a little deoxit in there and I should be good to go. But yeah, these things will get mad at you if you don't play them, and it's sounding great. And it's definitely easier on my ears, and it's a cool amp. Alright, that's pretty much it for amp maintenance. I'm going to go double check and see what my bias at 38 and 40, which is almost 42 now, if that's okay at that voltage. But 410, 12 volts, might be a little bit on the hot side, but that's what you get with all those amps back then. They just threw tubes in there and you didn't know if they were going to be running hot or cold. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Merry Christmas.